What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Pizza Podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to try and wing it the best I can. I thought the community needed this. I thought we needed there to be a place where we can all have a voice and a say. So if you want to join in with the conversation, we will pull you into a Discord server. Server link inside the description. Jump in there, and we'll pull people through individually to talk about their feelings and concerns around Black Ops 4 Zombies and how the rest of the community is doing right now. But our guest for today is Chopper. How you doing, dude?
My man, I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's surprisingly weird that I'm nervous for this. I'm really nervous.
It's different. I mean, this is a completely new platform for you. You never really had a podcast style kind of content, even though, like, that's literally what you do is just talk to your audience every day. It's just a little bit different being in this kind of setting.
It's so strange. It's actually the exact same thing that I do every single day, but now for some reason different. It feels weird, man. Feels weird.
It's good though. It's nice to switch it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Refresh.
Exactly. So I want to start things off just by kind of addressing some of the stuff that's going on inside the community with you. And then we'll bring people in that's watching right now into that Discord server in the description. You guys can go ahead and join that right now. And then when you do that, we can all chat, because I think everyone deserves a voice in this community, not just the bigger guys. I feel like a lot of people have their opinions being altered by people at the minute, maybe. And that happens to me as well. And I think we just need to all have a good chat about it and just talk. So
kind of get everything out there.
Yeah, so tell me, let's talk about what your opinions are with the community at the minute. Did you expect the way that everything's going right now to happen? And yeah, let me know. What do you think?
So basically, just to kind of really figure out what you're asking, just how the community is acting towards the game right now is what you're saying.
I think that's it. It's kind of like everyone knows Black Ops 3 was like, it was the real deal. It was like the game that we could look back for generations and go, that time of our lives was insane. Then we got IW, World War II, and now we're in this weird place with this game that everyone expected to be this ridiculous, like, god-tier game that everyone is now ripping on. Why are people ripping on it, Chop?
I think a lot has to do with it. Is just the evolution of how zombies has changed, to be honest, because I think that this game would have been huge had it came maybe during or right after the time of BO3. Like, say there was no IW or World War II.
Yeah.
Like, it was just BO3, then BO4. It would be weird, but I don't think it'd be as jarring, because, like, the time in between Black Ops 3 and now, like, so much has changed in gaming, and I think that Black Ops 4 is like it's hasn't quite evolved along with everything else.
I think saying that, it's funny you said that. I was thinking about this before. Do you think all the maps that we have right now, if you take out the blue screening and it's just the map itself, the map runs, the map plays fine, Easter eggs are great, do you think if we took those maps and they were DLC 6 in BO3, would people have gone crazy for it? Would it have been awesome?
I think as far as, like, the Blood of the Dead would have been for sure. Like,
100%.
That's what everybody wanted in Chronicles anyway.
Yeah.
That's a given. But with the new storyline thing, like, my only issue with that is because this is BO4, I feel like Treyarch should have went all out with the Aether. Like, save Chaos for the next game, in my opinion. And that's I don't know, that's kind of where I'm at on that. But I think that if they had continued these BO4 maps and put them in BO3, I think they would have been great, to be honest.
So what's the reason why they're not great in BO4? Or do you think they're great?
I'm a really big fan of 9. That's a fantastic map. Yeah. Dead of the Night, I actually surprisingly like as a map. I'm not in love with the Easter egg steps or anything. And it suffers from a couple of other issues that I don't like about some other BO4 maps. But all in all, I think this should have been a map on disc.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Like Night of the Dead, or Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night. Yeah, I always get mixed up because the other of the Dead maps. Dead of the Night is by far possibly the best map on Black Ops 4.
You think so? Best map?
Well, okay, 9 is insane. 9 is really good, and the boss fight is shocking. I like shocking boss fights where you go into them and you're like, holy dude, that is insane. 9 is like that. Voyage was kind of like that. But Voyage
has the best boss fight, in my opinion.
Voyage is really good, but it had a reputation before it even came out for some reason. Before the map even released.
So?
Yeah, people were saying that it would be too big before anyone even saw gameplay. And then we got gameplay and it was like, okay, this is really close quarters. And I think that kind of comes down to some of the stuff that Jason Blundell said, where he categorized them. And he was like, okay, 9 will be the easiest for you to jump into. Then you've got Blood, and then you've got Voyage. And I think as soon as you put classifications on stuff, it alters people's opinions of getting their own opinion of that.
Yeah, that's fair. It was like we were kind of be told what to think before we even got to play the game.
Yeah,
that actually makes a lot of sense. Maybe that's where this all kind of stems from. Is like we had these like prejudices about the maps, good or bad, before we even got to play them.
Yeah,
I think that's actually very true.
I think so. But yeah, I think Night of the Dead on its own, or Dead of the Night, is by far the best map in Black Ops 4 at the minute.
I also think it's kind of a problem that we keep calling it Night of the Dead.
Yeah,
because
they shouldn't have done that in the first place. I told Jason when we went, we need to stop calling stuff dead maps, and then he was like, yeah, we can't do that. And that was when we were talking about Blood of the Dead, so he knew this was in store as well. But yeah.
I don't know. Like Treyarch has always had these really unique names for their maps. Like if you look at BO3, Der Eisendrache, obviously it's not even. It's a German word, but it's something that is like recognizable right when you hear it.
Oh, it's instantly searchable. Like it's so searchable. DE or Der Eisendrache, insane. But like 9 is 9 searchable. I mean,
it's just like it's
Roman numerals, dude. And like Voyage of Despair, yeah, that's fine. Blood of the Dead, I mean, it's got the word blood in, it's got the word dead in. Not great for YouTube, but as a community, that's fine.
We know about that.
So yeah, I think Night of the Dead, or Dead of the Night, is overall really good. I want to talk to you guys a little bit, and you, Chopper, as well, about the Easter egg hunt situation on Dead of the Night. You heard about this, right?
I have been following along for almost everything, but I'm going to let you take this one just to fill everybody in who isn't sure, and me too, in case I don't have all the details.
So let's jump back to around 3 weeks after launch. Maybe 2 weeks after launch. Maybe 2 weeks after launch. So it turns out that this guy that was working at Treyarch, basically, he got fired. We don't know the entire story because we can't assume everything he said is legit. Like, it could be, but I'm not going to take Treyarch's side or his side. But if we basically say there was this guy that got fired from Treyarch, he had all the intel about these maps when it came to 9 and also Dead of the Night. Apart from that, he openly said that they're the only 2 that he worked on. Or those maps, so the starting maps, and then of course the DLC one was the only stuff that he worked on. So he gave out loads of Easter egg steps for the original maps and also on Dead of the Night. And he was like in people's chat giving them details and stuff. And all I've been seeing while I've been streaming all week is people telling me how Milo is a jerk for doing all this and listening to them. Dude, I would have listened to them as well. It's literally a guy telling you what to do. If you ignore that guy, then you're physically just wasting your time because you're looking for stuff when he's already told you what to do. It's not Milo's fault. Milo did not ask to get those steps, you know? He didn't source this guy out. This guy just openly was telling them, and that's absolutely fine. So that Easter egg hunt was kind of ruined, but it's nice to know that he's kind of openly said that he's only done those maps, I think. So after this, it should be okay. So so that's how I feel about that. That's the rundown about all of the Easter egg situation inside the community right now. But let's move on to your next bullet point that you wanted to talk about today, which is the state of the community.
Oh man, let's get into this.
Oh, dude, the state of the community. Let's chat.
I think you should start this off just because right now you're way deeper in the community than me. Like I'm not saying I'm not in the community, but I've stepped back a little bit just because
you are I
needed to catch my breath with all this stuff.
Yeah, you are a zombies influencer and a PUBG influencer, and I feel like because I've never like changed the format of stuff that I do, and I've never gone to a different game, even though I've like dabbled in stuff, I've never actually gone and changed it. I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding about what's going on right now. The state of the community is you basically have complete right wingers and complete left wingers. There's literally no one in the middle. So you've got these right wingers who are basically saying, Like, I'm trying to stay as biased as possible inside of this. You've got a group of people that are saying, this game sucks, this is not the game we want, and they're just slandering the game. And then you've got people on this side who are basically saying, this game is amazing, and it needs to be praised. And I think I'm kind of, if this is 100% and this is 0%, I'm probably about 25. Like, I think the game has potential. I think the game's amazing. I think the maps are amazing. But also, there is a part of me that's like, okay, we need to fix these problems. And definitely the blue screens at launch wasn't great. And it definitely damaged the reputation that the game had.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's those two groups of people right now. And there's also people, and then the thing is, I see people, I just want people to be happy, dude. There's guys on the left who are literally being so toxic to the guys on the right, and then the vice versa. And I just feel like, dude, this is literally a community. I understand that we're arguing this point just because we care about the same thing. Like, we are all very passionate about the exact same thing, and that's the only reason why there's this, like, conflict going on. So we need to kind of resolve this conflict and just have a full-on rundown, and that is why this podcast exists, because we can drag people in to this podcast where we can talk about these things. And yeah, so that's the rundown of what's going on, in my opinion, right now. But what about you? Let me hear this. Let me have a minute off talking.
I agree exactly what you said about, like, the two parties. Like, I don't know where the divide came from, because we didn't have this divide in BO3, or really even in World War II, right? Like, obviously it was the most popular game.
This is the, like, I know it's a weird phrase to use, and a lot of people use it and a lot of people don't like it, but this is probably the most toxic the community has ever been. Ever.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. Can we not all just get along? No, but seriously, it's like, it's toxic. There must be a reason behind why it's toxic, and that's why we need to talk to people today and just drag people into this Discord. So if you guys haven't joined already, join that Discord, and we'll drag some of you guys in very, very shortly to continue.
I've been trying to think about, like, where this divide stemmed from, because I think that's important if it ever wants to be resolved.
Yeah.
But I can't really, like, I can't really put my finger on exactly what caused it, right? Because even before BO4 came out, there still was a little bit of, like, saltiness starting to come up with the way that the Black Ops Pass worked and everything. People were just looking for a reason to be negative. Yeah. And I don't know, like, I don't know why it's so pronounced in this game more than anything else.
Honestly, gonna throw it out there. May not like it, what I say. It's literally because of the F word. Because of Fortnite. I
was actually about to bring that up.
A game which is completely free. Which they get money via microtransactions, but you can physically play it for free. Meaning that when there's a game that also comes out that isn't free, there was people that were reflecting on it saying, why is this game not free? And I kind of get that, but you got to realize that this company is, I don't think that they would, like, be able to stay afloat, kind of, if it didn't cost money to pay for the game. Even though they do have microtransactions and they earn a lot through that, so maybe they could. I don't know. How do you feel about it? Do you think that
that's kind of what I was going back to, though, saying, like, at the beginning, where BO4 just, like, gaming evolved so much in those couple years that BO4 didn't stay up to date. They didn't evolve with it. You know what I mean? And I think that's maybe that is literally the root of where that divide comes from.
It could be, dude.
People who feel about either way of that subject.
It could very much be because of the F word, dude.
So it's like, how do you fix that at this point? Like,
I don't think you can.
I
think one of the things that they could have done that would have helped it a little bit, and I don't see how this would help the zombies community, but as the game and as a whole, if they would have provided Blackout for free. But saying that, there's so much, like, I see so much negativity tweeted at me every single day from these people that are saying, hey, Blackout and multiplayer are getting so many additions to the game, but zombies aren't getting anything. And that's kind of true. We're not getting anything, but you got to realize that adding an addition to every single week to Blackout is definitely a lot easier than making a full map every 2 months. You know?
Yeah.
Now, if they could hire more people and we can have the best of both worlds and get a new map every 2 months, and then on top of that also had a new Easter egg or a different weapon or a new elixir added every single week, then whew, big game. And no blue screens. But
yeah, I don't know. I think another reason where it stems from is there just got to be a lot of issues going on at Treyarch. Like, I'm not going to pretend I know everything that's happening there, but
oh yeah,
there's it can't be all peachy at the studio. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way. I've not heard anything.
Yeah.
I've not spoken to anyone from there since we were there for BO4. The funny thing is, when we were playing BO4 at Treyarch, no one had a blue screen. Like,
really?
I didn't see a blue screen at all.
Were you guys on different consoles or anything?
We were all on different consoles, and apparently we were playing a build of the game that was pre-release. So I don't know what they added, or I don't know. But yeah, all the Easter eggs are locked as well.
Yeah.
Which is good. And one thing that annoys me right now, can we please talk about this custom mutations glitch? Because if this does not get fixed, I am going to be so upset.
Man.
Have you heard about the story that happened last week?
Does this have to do with solving the map?
This has to do with solving the map. I want to know how you feel about it.
All right. So when custom mutations, at least for me, when it was announced, I was thinking more along the lines of like I'm pulling a JC right here, but Halo 3 custom games, just you can complete control of the game, and that's what the intention was.
Yep.
But the problem is, I guess it wasn't implemented correctly, and since it takes away all of the fun things to do in a map, right? Like disabling the Easter egg gives you almost no incentive to play if that's your goal.
Yep.
So mutations are already off the list. Now people are just using it for like malicious intent to break the game to cheat their way to complete something first, right? Like it's brought right now almost nothing positive.
No,
in my opinion.
I agree. Though it would have been great if it would have been like, hey, here's your maps, here's your season. Oh wait, with DLC 5, with this Zombie Chronicles 2 that you might be getting, we're also going to drop this thing called custom mutations. Now all the Easter eggs are out. Go wild and customize those Easter eggs to your absolute liking. And that would have been like, woo, holy dude. And the thing is, if they never told us about that, and we didn't even know about it, it wouldn't have been an issue. We would have floated into Black Ops 4, had our casual maps, played them, loved it. But for some reason, we've got this custom mutations, which has a bug that allows people to do the Easter eggs on custom mutations with 99 lives and 50,000 points.
I just don't understand why they made the conscious decision to disable the main quest in mutations. That's quite literally where all the fun is to be had. You know what I mean?
I understand it, like, on release day, but once the egg gets discovered and fully figured out, then they should release it.
Or, okay, what I was going to say is, like, I don't know why they didn't think of, after completing the map once on, like, the vanilla settings, then give you access to play it in mutations.
That's what it should have been.
You should have earned that after you've done it once.
It should have been an unlock, like, instantly unlocked.
Like such a given.
Because I feel like at the minute, it's locked, but it's locked in a way where it's still there. You know what I mean? But it should have been like where it's fully logged until you beat it, and then once you beat it, it's unlocked. I don't know. There should have been some kind of like key when I don't know. But yeah, that custom mutation glitch just sucks, and they need to fix it. So Treyarch, if you are listening, just please for the next DLC, like I seriously, please.
Would you believe me if I told you I've never opened up the mutations settings like in my game? I've never used it.
Would believe you. Yes.
It's just I have no reason to. It's like, okay, I can play Blood of the Dead with only Brutuses. It's like, but why though?
I've used it, dude. That is fun though. I've used it for a few myths, and it's fun. But it's not fun for me as an Easter egg player because I want it. It'd be literally like you could make your own custom Easter egg. Like the Easter egg is exactly the same, but throughout the whole thing, you've got a Blight Father spawning in every single round. And you've got 50 Brutuses inside the boss fight. Like that would be insane. Like, actually crazy. Like, just going back to, like, DE, like, how fun would that be to have a custom mutation boss fighting? Like, we could literally, like, instead of getting 4 panzers, dude, we're gonna get 10. And they're all gonna have...
Didn't people make mods of that anyway, where it's, like, a ridiculous
so
amount
good.
of panzers?
Yeah.
And, like, that was fun.
It was insane, and that's what we should be getting in custom mutations. But I do feel like it dropped way too early, and we shouldn't have had it on release. It should have been something that we literally would have got after all the maps had been completed, after DLC 4. So yeah, custom mutations.
Really, you think after DLC 4?
Maybe, because the thing is, if we never knew about it, why does it matter? Like we already know if we get the maps like in Black Ops 3 and then we get DLC 5, that's like it was the biggest selling DLC of that year. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Talking about that, what do you think about remastered maps? Well, more remastered maps for BO4. We've got Mob of the Dead as Blood of the Dead. Do you think they're going to go... Like, I assume if they go in to do it, they've already made it. But do you think it's a wise decision as of now, knowing what they know about our reaction to the other maps? Is it worth doing with other remastered maps? And changing the Easter eggs or making a different storyline?
So basically what you're saying is like have an old classic map, but with a different Easter eggs similar to Blood?
So, yeah, so basically a new classic map. So let's say Transit, we get a remastered Transit, but it's got a completely different Easter egg inside of there. Because the thing is, I think this game would have actually done better. Obviously, you take away the blue screen thing, because the blue screen's made it have this terrible reputation. But I think if we would have got the 2 new maps, so we would have got 9, and we also would have got Voyage of Despair, if we would have also got Night of the Dead with that, and then they also dropped Blood of the Dead, but it's not Blood of the Dead, it's just a remaster of Mob, I think it would have brought in more players.
You think so?
I think so.
That's interesting. I don't know, but I'm not gonna say wrong because I can't hypothetically play that out. But that's a really interesting idea.
I also well talking about that, I heard, like when there was the reveal and we had JC talk to Jason, when he read the stuff about Richtofen's lab, that did hype people up. So fair enough. Maybe not.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Maybe not. But should we drag some people in and should we have a chat about the community? Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so, guys, this is how this is going to play out. You guys are going to join that Discord server right now. And we are going to have a little conversation with some of you guys inside of that Discord server. So, let me make my way to that Discord server real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly... I'm going to have to remove Chopper's webcam for this. Just because it's a little bit funky up inside of here.
Bye, guys.
So, let me get rid of guest cam and also guest cam. Where's guest cam? Guest cam border. That's my border. That's another guest cam border. And finally, there you go. Guest webcam. Okay. So, let's enter this Discord and let's have a chat with some of those community members. And let's see what we are going to be doing. So, let's invite... Who are we going to bring in? I'm going to bring in I'm So Awesome Face because this guy's an absolute legend. So, I've met this guy at ZWC multiple times. So, I'm going to join the live on air channel right there. Chop is now in here. Chop.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay, let's bring some guys in. So, I'm going to bring I'm So Awesome Face in right now. And let's see what we can talk about and what my boy I'm So Awesome Face wants to talk about. Yo, you are live on the air.
Oh,
how's it going, man?
Hello.
Let's talk about what you want to talk about today. What do you think about the community right now? What input have you got to give?
Someone earlier said that I forget who exactly. Dead is the wrong word, and we should be using stale a little more.
I agree with the term dead. My term of dead, or the reason why I put dead, is shock factor. But okay, stale's a good word for it, I think. And why is it stale? That's the question. We need to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know. I think people are tired of kind of repetitivity, if that's a word.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Just the repetitiveness of zombies, I guess.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: like, in comparison to BO3, how much BO4 are you playing these days?
Oh, not as much.
Is it like significantly less?
Very significantly less.
Wow.
So to follow that up, what are you spending your time doing then? Like, that would be playing zombies. Are you playing other games? Or are you like you playing Blackout or multiplayer?
I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man, to be honest.
Oh.
I know
Okay.
that's just a random game that someone wouldn't play a lot of.
No, it's a good game.
Because it's keeping you engaged and stuff.
Yeah. And I've also been playing a lot of Rush because the game's been really glitchy for me, but Rush has been perfectly fine for some reason.
Wow.
So
you know what? I've not even loaded up a game of Rush yet. Maybe we need to play Rush.
Oh.
Rush is actually really fun. That's the thing. It's a slept-on game mode, and it doesn't really have a point other than the experience of it. And I mean, the experience is great. Rush, I think, works fantastic as a game mode, but there's really not a point to do it. There's no like specific Rush rewards that you can get. There's no like camos or calling cards.
It gives you XP actually
for
both your person and your weapons. So I mean, if you want to level up quick and easy, Rush is the way to do it, I'd say.
Well, there you go. Maybe we need to have a game on Rush.
Well, other than doing high rounds, if you don't want to waste your time on high rounds and maybe get like a blue screen or something, the way to level up is Rush.
So let's
that's the thing.
Go on, Chop. Sorry.
But that's the thing, though, right? Like XP, at least for me personally, I don't really care about ranking up that much. I don't think it because when Black Ops 2 had the, I guess, skill rank system, that's when I would like to play for rank because you could actually kind of get a general idea about how good a player is in your lobby. But then when it came to BO3, I thought it was a cool ranking system, but then it really just became about time played, and it doesn't really have a backbone to it. So
I feel like there could definitely be a thing between the two that we should have.
Yeah.
So literally we can have a rank and people are like, oh, this guy's played so much. And then it also says, yo, this guy actually doesn't go down in like 1,000 waves. Like
that's what we talked about in Noah's video like a little bit ago. I brought up like having 2 different ratings. There's like a skill tree rating and then a normal XP time-based rating. Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
And I don't know why they haven't done that, to be honest.
I don't know, dude. I'm Swarm Surface. Let me know your final closing statement before we switch to someone else. Why is the community stale, and what can Treyarch do to fix this?
I don't know, to be honest. Can I bring up just one topic real quick?
Go for it. Yeah.
I think that Dead of the Night should have dropped with Voyage, and then 9 should have been DLC 1. They shouldn't have done a prequel type thing. They should have made it linear.
Do you think because it's a new storyline, it's completely confused people? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
People thought that 9 came before Voyage at first.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Definitely, because it was kind of the one that is shown in the menu first, so that would make sense. But I don't know, dude. But it's been nice talking to you. I'm going to switch over to someone else.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, dude. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. But I'll switch this. Peace out, dude. Okay.
What he was saying, the thing about DLC 1, what I was going to bring up is that it's so important just to nail that map. Like, it's got to be the best out of the season.
I mean, just look at the ones that we've already got. Like, if we go back to World at War, even just the first DLC of that for Rogues, it was like, yo, here's perks, dude. We've literally given you 4 insane things that change the gameplay. It's insane. We're giving you multiple mystery box locations. We're giving you traps. Like, that was a massive DLC 1. And then we move over to Black Ops 1. DLC 1 in Black Ops 1. We got not Die Rise. What did we get in BO1? We got Ascension. Ascension was amazing.
Ascension had the first main quest Easter egg.
Exactly. Like, think about that. Think about doing the first tester quest in Derice, and then you drop your on-disc map for BO1, and there's no Easter egg on it. Kino. But for some reason, Kino was the most, we played it so much. And that is because it was fresh. The zombies community just started to, become a thing. And it was and high rounds was fun. So you could do that. Main quest began with Ascension. So we had this extra thing to do. Then we got Transit on Black Ops 2, where we had a main quest and another main quest on there. Literally 2. I know they're only short, and I know they're fairly similar, but we got 2 main quests in Transit. DLC 1 on that map with Die Rise. I mean, it's probably my least favorite.
Die Rise tried to do something different, which I appreciate, but maybe it didn't stick, and that's fine. But
yeah, for some reason, it still performed well, though. On YouTube at that time, it performed well. If that map would not have lived today at all, and it is by far my least favorite map out of the entire Zombies franchise, but apart from the actual visuals, I think the visuals look great, but the actual map itself, I dislike. I wouldn't say dislike, that's a bit harsh. I would say least favorite.
But when you come to BO3 with their DLC 1, that was the first real boss fight. My point is, every DLC 1 does something to change the game or shift the focus of how people play zombies. And this DLC 1, I mean, to be fair, they did do a couple of new things that I really appreciate, but I don't know if it was enough. And in my opinion, the biggest mistake was not making DLC 1 an Aether map, to be honest.
I think so as well. That would have had so much buzz. But I also feel like it was hey, here's this game that everyone is talking crap on right now. Let's literally import this map right now. Give you a map that's ready. You can play it. There's no glitches on there. Have fun. But your real DLC is still going to be coming out normal DLC time. They basically just dropped something out of the blue. You can kind of tell because there was no marketing. You got to realize when they release these maps, they literally spend a month or 2 months even making a trailer for it. So I think it was completely unexpected. I think they had a meeting about it and they were like, okay, let's try and bring people back on our side by dropping this map. And I'm not sure if it's backfired or it's actually done well.
I I think it didn't quite have the effect that they were going for.
I mean, look at views.
Intention.
Views are massively low on it. I think,
Yeah.
like insane, and it didn't draw new people in. You can tell the power of advertising that we've got with Activision is that advertising works. The amount of new people and new subscribers that join the Zombies community and subscribe to zombie YouTubers during those map releases is insane. Like, if we take a normal map release, let's just look at Black Ops 3. I mean, Black Ops 3, that was a phenomenon, dude. It was ridiculous. Like, during Black Ops 3, there was so many people that blew up. Like, so many people. And then if we look at Black Ops 3 Chronicles, dude, Chronicles was the most insane thing. Remastered maps. The same stuff that we played before, but they're remastered on this Black Ops 3 engine. And the amount of people that blew up from that, I'm gonna pick a name out the air, and you guys can say whatever you want about this guy, but he killed it during Chronicles, and that's Pack-a-Puncher. During Revelations, the final DLC of BO3, that dude was on 2k subs. 2k, okay? Zombie Chronicles dropped, and that man, like, jumps over 100. Jumps over 200, I think. And now obviously he's doing Fortnite. But still, like, that's insane. The power that Chronicles had was unreal, chop.
I agree. I'm just trying to think of anybody who's like blown up in that way, dude, with BO4. I can't really think of any channels that came up from the ground.
No, I've seen a few like people that are starting to get there, and definitely a few channels that are literally like seconds away from that spark. But to get that spark, they need quality content. I mean, their content's amazing. Like, I've watched multiple ones of their videos, seen them. They're building views like insane, but they need just need that Treyarch spark, dude. Something from the actual game itself that people will search for. Just a trailer, and then instantly, boom, bang.
So this is the question. What is, like, we talk about BO3 a lot being wonderful, but what was the magic in that game, and what's missing in BO4? It's hard to put your finger on it. Like, why?
Okay, let's. I've got a few reasons why this happened and why this phenomenon happened, and I can relate to some of this as well. Let's talk about release day. It was actually a bit of a banger. Like, release day was big.
Are you talking for BO4 or BO3?
BO3.
Okay.
Shadows was very popular. Like, insanely popular. And you gotta remember, we only had Shadows and a remastered version of Derice. Like, that's insane. And that lasted us from November to February. You know? But,
yeah.
Okay, go on.
The thing is, right, with Shadows and compared to the maps that we have now, I talked about this with Milo, like, I don't remember how long ago, but I was saying that to me, every zombies map is like a sandbox, and then what determines replayability is how many toys that sandbox has and how fun those toys are. In my opinion, Shadows had the most amount of toys in said sandbox ever.
It was insane.
In BO4, it's like we have more sandboxes, but like significantly less toys, so they just feel emptier, and having more maps doesn't fill the void of having less toys, if that makes sense.
And I honestly think it benefited so much. And if Jason Blundell would have not done this new storyline to be 100% away from the old one, it would have worked the same way. The fact that we jumped onto Shadows of Evil, met this new crew, but it was also connected with the four loved characters that we already loved, was insane, right?
Yeah, and they didn't outright tell us that was discovered, a little surprise in the cutscene thing. It was like, oh my god,
exactly.
Everything comes together. We had suspicions that they were related just because of stuff in the map, and that makes sense. But I think when it comes to Treyarch surprises, that's a good example of one.
Yeah, I agree. So I still can't believe that it lasted until February though. Like, that is incredible. And, okay, another reason why that happened is definitely because of streaming on YouTube. Like, streams just randomly blew up. Like, streaming became, like, the norm. Like, you gotta remember, before that, no one streamed. Like, no one streamed. It was there was very few, dude, very few people that were streaming at that point. But definitely now, also, we just got a super chat, so we'll just quickly read that because we've not done any donations just yet. Okay, here we go. So Turtle HQ says, and also thank you for the $10 super chat. He says, I wish they made the Easter eggs feel more rewarding like in BO3. They gave you a perkaholic, and that's one thing that made me do the Easter eggs in BO3 more. BO4 Easter eggs need to feel rewarding. Do you think we're getting enough award, if any, from BO4 Easter eggs?
No. Not at all. Like the fact that you don't even get the option anymore to continue the game is a big mistake too. I get that in like Blood of the Dead they want to end the game because that's kind of like that's the story for it, right? That you kind of have to end the game there. But that also takes away the casualness of doing that Easter egg. It's like you want to play with your buddies, you want to do the Easter egg and then go for a high round after that. That was typically what a lot of people do, but you don't really get that reward anymore after, and the game physically ends and it's not your choice.
I feel like you should have a choice, even though it messes with the storyline a little bit. Like we get,
like, who cares?
We've seen the cutscene. Yeah, we've seen the cutscene. We know what's going on. This guy's literally got a tiger on his face, right? But we should literally have choices that we can make at the end of this. At the end of the cutscene, it says end game, so you can end your game and claim that Easter egg victory in that time, or you literally just click continue and it spawns you back into the map, full perkaholic, and you can then play with all perks and go and do whatever you want to do. Go for high rounds, you know? I think that would have worked great, and I think they need to bring that back. Like, I think they looked at Mob of the Dead and they were like, hey, these guys love doing these Easter eggs where they have end games. Let's make everything an end game. Not fun. We need the next map. If the next map's an end game, they need to change it so badly. Like, so badly.
Something's got to be done with that. I think whatever the next DLC is probably has to be an Aether map too, or else it's just like, because frankly, I know some people really like the Chaos storyline. I think you like it as well. Like you've been researching it quite a bit.
I'm a big fan of the story, like the real life connections. The story itself is quite entertaining, and I gotta say I am kind of excited about getting the next comic book through the mail in, like, I think tomorrow maybe it might get here.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to read it. Don't get me wrong, but I'd be more excited if they go, hey, here's those 4 characters that you love. You're gonna be playing with them again, you know? Like, I'm all for making new friends, but you gotta remain old friends, right?
Yeah. The thing is with the Aether storyline, it just feels. I've tweeted about this too. We've always liked Treyarch because they were always the flagship and doing things their way, and other studios would try to like do copies of in a way. Yeah. But now Treyarch feels like they're imitating themselves with this new crew. Yeah. And it's, you know what I mean? It's weird to see. It's like we have like an imposter Treyarch making the game.
It's kind of, I tell you what, let's drag one more person in, and then we'll jump back to our webcam and talk about that for a little bit. Because I've just realized we've been talking without your webcam for so long. So let's bring one more guy in, and then we'll talk about that. Let me just write down imposter Treyarch real quick on here, because I totally want to start off from there as well, because I've got a lot to say on this subject.
Okay. All right, who are we going to bring in?
Who are we going to bring in? Let's bring another person into here right now. We have got like 61 people. So who do we bring in? We are going to bring in... I tell you what, let's bring in... The Duck Gamer is looking good, dude. I'm going to bring Duck Gamer in.
Go for it.
Let's see. Yo, you are live on the air, Duck Gamer. Duck Gamer?
Hello there.
Hello? Dude, I don't think Duck Gamer's here. Or he doesn't have a microphone. Okay, let's get rid of Duck Gamer. Let's go straight for the next guy. I'm gonna bring in another random person. Who should we who go on, you
do you wanna grab Newbie?
Yeah, sure.
Bottom?
Sure, yeah. Let me oh. I don't know. Can I do this? Oh yeah, it's going. Hey! Oh, he's muted. Oh, there we go. Newbie, you are live on the air, my dude.
Hello.
What up? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk about some zombie nonsense.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, I think.
There's so much to talk about. Where do we start? Let's talk about your opinion on why our community is turning into this battleground.
Yeah, it's been a massive battleground recently. Yeah. I think that in all areas, so if you split the community down, there's the Easter egg speedrunners, there's the people who just casually play it, do the Easter eggs, there's high rounders, things like that.
Yep.
And I feel like there's not too many rewards at the end of all them play styles. Okay. So not everyone's enjoying it. So if you complete an Easter egg, there's not a lot. We were just talking about this, so I won't go down that line too much.
Yep.
But for high round players, there's only like one reward, and that's a cutscene for classified.
Yeah, and it's like barely obtainable as well.
But, like, yeah, barely not obtainable right now.
Yeah.
The blue screens. But I feel like there's no end game rewards yet at all. in zombies, and I feel like the best game to do it so far has been IW.
I actually agree with you. Like, this is insane. IW's let's talk about the meth boss fight real quick. Let's bring up that meth boss fight, because that is that is some insane stuff. I'm gonna try and actually get gameplay of the meth boss fight, because I've actually got it on this computer. So let me try and get this up so you guys can see this. Because the thing is, the amount of people that have never seen this or never even played this is unreal. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this meth boss fight on screen right now. So the Mephistopheles boss fight. Explain it for everyone at home, newbie. How do we get this, and why it's good?
Oh, I have to explain the whole meth unlock system and how to complete and everything. With IW Zombies, what you have to do was essentially complete all the Easter eggs. I think it was twice, actually. You had to do them all twice.
Yeah.
And then when you did the Beast from Beyond's Easter egg in Director's Cut, you'll then do the Mephistopheles boss fight.
Yeah.
And I am not going to be able to explain the whole.
The boss fight is difficult to explain. But basically, we got this insane boss fight as a reward from completing all the other bosses. And I'm not saying that this isn't something that Treyarch might be giving us. There's massive possibility that they could turn around and go, "Hey, you are getting something like this." But I mean, we didn't really know about this from IW's perspective at the start of IW. So why was IW good? I personally loved every map on IW. Like, it was fun. It was really good.
Yeah, this is like the major end game award. Like, we didn't have it at launch, but I feel like even at launch, the end game award was just the variants. Like, yes, they were unlocked by supply drops.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was also something that brought uniqueness to IW Zombies, as well as a way to, feel rewarded for playing the game a lot. You play the game a lot, you get new variants, you get this new cool weapon, which does something slightly different about it. And I knew a lot of people back in the day who would just play tons of zombies just for these variants, because of how different it was.
I agree that there should be stuff that we unlock inside of Black Ops 4 Zombies as we go along, as we do Easter eggs, as we do high rounds. Let's say just something as simple as you hit round 50, you unlock a camo. And then everyone sees you playing with that camo, and they know that you've been to round 50. Like, just something as simple as that. Or doing an Easter egg, and then you get one perkaholic stored for when you start the next game. But you can't get on leaderboards with that perkaholic. Something like that. I feel like there's got to be a reward system involved, and we just don't have anything yet. Or anything that's substantially good.
Yeah, because I do have 10 days played, so I can't act like I've not
No,
played
dude, I've played so much. I played loads.
Yeah. But it just feels like the only real grind, or I guess endgame grind, is currently the camo challenges, but that's just not fun, and it's not enjoyable. I still do it, because that's the only thing I have to do, really. So it just feels like we're just missing this extra reward for end game. But
agree.
yeah, that's pretty much my only main point which I really need to talk about, was just the lack of really end game awards in Zombies recently.
Okay, no worries, my dude. Well, that was a good little chat right there, and hopefully we'll get you on next week as well, because that was really fun, or the week after, depending on when we do it. But yeah, perfect. Good talking, newbie. Good talking. I'm gonna throw you back in, and then we'll bring someone else in a second as well. Thanks for talking, my dude.
Yeah. Welcome. See you.
What do you think about that, chap?
All right,
oh, dude, we've had so many donations. Let me read a few of these out, and then we'll discuss. So we got X0737 saying, personally, I think why BO3 had so much hype was the last map of BO2 was Origins. It helped build the hype. The new storyline with our OG characters. So what do you think about that? I honestly thought that BO3 had a lot of hype because of Origins, but I also think that BO3 had so much hype because it was something new and refreshing. It was Shadows of Evil. Like, we saw that trailer and we're like, what is that? And it was a Margwa, right? But at the time, we had no idea. It was...
Yeah, Shadows... That trailer was scary, but in a good way. And and I'm glad it was like that, hindsight, because that was the change that Zombies needed for that time. And
yeah,
I don't know if BO4 quite struck that.
No, well, one thing that I did, I must have spoken about this to some of you guys, and definitely you, Chop. But I sat down with Jason Blundell around, it was when Chronicles released a few weeks before, at our press event thing, and I said to him, okay, when BO3 dropped, when Shadows of Evil dropped, were you nervous about that trailer? For people seeing that for the first time, all the changes that game had, were you nervous? And he said, yeah, he was incredibly nervous. And then I said, okay, I know you can't talk about it yet, but let's imagine the next project. I even said, let's imagine Black Ops 4. And he was like, okay. And he literally wouldn't tell me, like, yeah, he obviously can't say or confirm that. But I went, let's imagine Black Ops 4 for a second. Are you nervous or more nervous than Shadows with this new game? And he replied saying he is more nervous, like incredibly nervous about BO4. But why is that? Like, I can't see much different apart from the specialist system, which is actually really fun.
Apart from the specialist and maybe perks, I think was what he was thinking.
I think
other than
perks,
that,
yeah, dude.
The formula is relatively the same. I put something in our chat to bring up because I want to talk about that too, about the specialists.
Oh yeah,
I think because I got to think about this.
Let me get you up on the face cam real quick.
Oh yeah, I need to turn on my camera.
You wanna call me real quick? There you go. Let me get you up here, dude. Oh yeah, where is he? There he is. There's Chub. We're back with Chub. And also, I can give you guys a little bit of. Oh well, you guys are gonna have to watch that real quick. I hope that this doesn't. This cutscene's awful for demonetization. So let me try and quickly filter this. I'm just gonna throw a filter on it. Oh, actually, no. Okay, we just won't watch that. I was gonna play Last Gen DE gameplay, but we'll play something else instead. What is this? Let's see what this is. Oh, we're on. We're watching Last Gen DE. Let's keep that on. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this, Chop. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so basically, I was thinking about this the other day, right? And when I play the game, or when I watch other people like play a map, a boss fight in particular, or just the general game, but I think there's so many safety nets that, especially in boss fights, it's like I don't ever see people die out of fights anymore. Like, remember in DE when
dude, what is wrong with BO4's boss fights? Like, why are they so easy? Like, yes, we got that wipeout feature in Voyage, and that was the only thing. Like, dude, it's got to the point during an Easter egg hunt that if a team goes in before you, you're like, okay, they've totally got world's first. Well done, well done, dudes. Yeah, exactly. BO3 was different. BO3 was like, oh, they got to the boss fight. Okay, in about 15 hours, we should have it solved. And it's
because people had to learn every single like counter and every single move for it.
Exactly.
That's what boss fights are made for. But it seems like in BO4, there's so many safety nets. You have specialists which recharge at a wicked rate. I'm not saying that itself is a bad thing, but the specialists are just a get out of jail free card. Yeah. You have elixirs like Anywhere But Here in plain sight that you can just call on whenever. You have Dying Wish, which in any other time should be a down, will not be a down. And you have things like the Scepter of Ra that are like an insta-res. Like, just all of these things that make it almost impossible to fail boss fights anymore. It takes away the pressure of doing it so that when you complete it, it doesn't feel as rewarding because it wasn't as difficult.
It's way too easy now. Way too easy.
That's my biggest problems with the boss fight. Like, I played Blood of the Dead for the first time when I did that boss fight, and I was like, that was very underwhelming.
I mean, Blood's a very easy boss fight for solo players. 9, if you know what you're doing, it can be easy, but it's still pretty challenging if you just got thrown into it. Same with Voyage. Voyage is insane to be thrown in solo. And Night of the Dead, yeah, if you run in solo for the first time, you might have a little encounter or two, but you should be okay. But let's just take that back to BO3. Let's look at Shadows. Even Shadows was tough, dude. Like, just probably more tough than everything except Voyage. Like,
let's talk about like doing without gumballs, right? Shadows. If you didn't have anything super overpowered, no Dead Machines.
Dude, Dead Machine wasn't out on release. Dead Machine was DLC 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember that DLC or Death Machines were not a drop when the game came out. It was like early on, but a little bit later. But if you didn't have something super overpowered to do Shadows with, doing that no matter the amount of players is still really hard. And like, granted, if you keep failing it over and over again, it makes it easier on you. But to get that like locked in on the first try is difficult, and I don't like feel that same difficulty with any of the BO4 maps, to be honest.
No, I don't have that.
Voyage is probably the most interesting and dynamic one out of all of them.
I think so. It's the closest
I like playing, but
yeah,
I could play that boss fight over and over again, but I couldn't be bothered to do that Easter egg over and over again. That's the problem.
And like, I think that's why IW, even if you love it or hate it, I think that's why it also worked. IW's Easter eggs were challenging, fun, and the boss fight, it needed time to work out. And every single boss fight was strategic in that game. There was none that you could just jump in and instantly do. I can't think of any that we beat on our first time. There was literally none of them.
I can't either.
Because the thing is...
no, I did not beat any on my first try.
You had the alien, which was so tough that it had to be nerfed. Just think about that. That's insane. There was only like 3 content creators that beat that before nerfed. After that, we got... And also, you had to upgrade all wonder weapons. Or you had to at least figure out an upgrade to know how to do it. Like, we got into the boss fight before we even know how to get the wonder weapons. And obviously, we couldn't do it. And then, moving on to Raven the Redwoods... Had to stand in specific locations, had to shoot certain things, had to fill certain things up. Really cool boss fight. Yes, it got beaten in like 6 hours, but whatever, dude. It was a fun boss fight. After that, Shaolin Shuffle, that's probably the least... Actually, no, it's not the... Dude, you had to go and like collect 3 different items around the map inside of the boss fight room, do different challenges, then attack the radioactive thing. You had the lasers that you had to go through, and then Beast from Beyond, you had those 2 giant rhinos that you had to beat, and there was special blue rhinos, and then of course meth. Like, insane stuff. BO3 the same. World War II, only played 3 of the maps, pretty lackluster. BO4, better than World War II, but not challenging.
Did you not play DLC 4 on World War II?
No. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about the boss fight.
It was
I'm actually going to do... One thing that I was going to ask you about as well. I'm the only person... I played it once. I played the map once for like 2 hours on release. So there was nothing found at that point. I'm thinking about taking about 4 days out of my schedule in between... Before DLC 2. And streaming me hunting for that Easter egg. With all I can do is just have the chat, give little clues, but nothing too much. And that's only if I need it.
Oh, the chat would be so spoilery, but like,
that's
actually a really interesting idea.
I think it's more fun for me. Well, I know it's fun for the chat as well and the audience, but it's definitely fun for me because I get an Easter egg hunt when no one else can have it. Oh no, it's kind of fun. So yeah, that's something I do when I do.
It's not really been done before, actually. That's different. I like it.
So while I'm getting the rest of these, actually, we've got a donation right. We've actually had a few. Let me read all like these donations out, and we'll talk about these a little bit more thoroughly once I've read them. So we got Plus Johnny who dropped $5, and he said, "Need more specific specialists. Shadows of Evil Sword added lots in the game value with the quest. Pre-selected specialists take that away, and I agree. Every map in BO3, we had a different cool specialist. And if we could have that again, it would have been great. Now we've just got given something that we can choose whenever we want. Could you imagine if we did it? Dude, BO3, give me it back. Give me it back. Like, it was, dude, it was so good. Plus Johnny, I agree with you massively. Chop, do you agree with Plus Johnny?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I think a lot of the problems is on the specialists, and some people don't realize it.
I think so.
That's where a lot of it comes from.
They're really cool, and they make it a lot easier, and they make it fun. But the fact that we had a specialist based around an Easter egg hunt, that we had to figure out how to get the specialist. And the thing is, you didn't have to do the main quest to get the specialist, and you didn't have to get the specialist to do the main hunt most of the time. You know?
Yeah.
We could literally, high rounders would do those little Easter eggs, so then they can do high rounds. It's fun for everyone. Why not bring it back? But Plus Johnny, thank you for that. We also got a £5 donation coming in from Turtle HQ again, saying the leaderboards also need to be implemented because one thing that's made zombies replayability last is the competitiveness between players. Hashtag keep zombies strong. Dude,
that's a big part of it.
I don't know if it's just me, but my leaderboards have been broken for like since launch. Like mine
don't work.
Dude, no one's kills will change. My kills don't go up unless I prestige. Like, I was stuck at like 70,000 kills for like a month, and then I clicked prestige the other day, and it jumps to like 150,000 or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of the fun for me in BO3 was like literally looking
at those
map to map, and just looking at everything.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Just comparing with what everybody else has done. That's where a lot of the fun comes from. And I just don't get how at this point Treyarch doesn't have functional leaderboards. They've been like, you know what I mean? One of the most basic functions in a game.
Like how?
And I have no answer. I just don't get how leaderboards aren't functional.
I mean, you guys know me. I was not a big fan of World War II zombies at all. But they had leaderboards that worked and timed leaderboards for Easter egg speedrunners. Like, that is awesome. Yes, they can be hacked. Yes, you can change them if you want to or whatever. I don't know about that. But there you go. They were there. They were implemented in a game that wasn't even that popular. But then you look at BO4. BO4 should have been releasing with these things, with timed Easter egg leaderboards, with high round leaderboards, with different things. And they claimed that we were going to get this, and we didn't get it. I don't know, my dude. I don't know. But thank you for that, Turtle. Appreciate that, my dude. We're going to move on to X0 again real quick. He says, also, I think the fact that we are getting a zombies... Also, I think the fact that we are now getting zombies every single year hasn't helped with the keeping of the community, or keeping the community fresh and viable. Oversaturation of zombies right now. Go on.
I think there's something to be said for that. Like,
I think I don't want to be
double-edged sword.
I don't want to be biased. I want to know what everyone else personally thinks about that, because I'm very biased about this, because this is kind of my job, and if there's no content, I can't do anything. But also going back to like 6 years ago when there was no content, creators figured out what to do. They did custom zombies. We've got so much there that I would be fine for a year to do other stuff. But I don't want. I'm so biased about this that I want to ask you and ask other people. So we'll bring someone in for a question about this. But what do you think, John?
It's a good idea. I'm with you on the bias part. It's like, for content creators, obviously they're gonna want zombies every year just because it's new stuff to do. But it's a double-edged sword, because there's also something to be said if, like, you have a drought of zombies for like 3 or 4 years. No matter what, it's gonna be exciting when it's coming back. You know what I mean? Just because you haven't seen it since.
I think Treyarch Zombies definitely has that thing about it, and I think this is exactly why we're in this problem right now. BO3 was too good, man. BO3 was god tier. We had IW, which was good. World War II was lackluster, and we were like, oh, dude, World War II is not great, but it's okay. We got BO4 in this many months. Now we've got it in this many months. Oh, dude, it's getting close. We're like 2 months away right now. And then it was like, here's BO4. And it's like, okay, well.
But you remember, like, how thirsty everybody was for BO4 before it came out. I mean, and that's what I mean about the hype that comes with it. And that's good, because, people were really excited to get this game.
Yes, massively.
So, it was still there, but they dropped it when it came out. They dropped the ball.
I don't know. I tell you what, let's drag someone real quick into talk about this real quick. And also, we did get a donation that was actually on Streamlabs from Vincent, who put, BO4 is fun and I'll always love zombies, but I dislike how the Easter egg steps don't cater to solo players. Feels too daunting to attempt certain maps solo. I think that each...
I was gonna say, do you want to talk about this before you drag someone in, so I have to get rid of my camera? Because
I think
this is a good talking point.
And we're solo players, so we can talk about this. But also, you got to remember, like I said this on when we were at Treyarch, and I was like, dude, this is easy solo. I'm fine with this. And then Noah turned around and was like, yo, you got to remember, you are one of the best players in the world. General people won't be able to do this. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. Which is true. We play every day. We've got to be good at zombies, so we play it every day. And can the general consumer do these Easter eggs on solo? What do you think?
I don't think they're fun to play, so that's a problem. Like, DE, you could, even if you're not that good at zombies, it's still something you could learn, right? Because
yes, and I think
there's a formula to it.
And I think the best thing about DE was that you could go in. Even any player could go in and go, I've seen this guide, I just need to kill a few zombies in front of dogs. And they have a bow. And then it's like, okay, I've seen this guide. All I've got to do is I've got to fire a few arrows at these bonfires and then get a few kills, and I could get this electric bow. And it's like, dude, here's this electric bow. And then they can do a little bit more research and be like, dude, there's a fire bow, there's a wolf bow, and they can literally
they can like start the main quest with the wisp and everything, which aren't that hard to memorize. But when you get to BO4 with these things that have a million different spawns per game, and then it's like you gotta be a human encyclopedia to remember everything about every map in BO4, and that's not fun. It feels like a chore. That's my problem. Like it takes away from replaying the map solo. It doesn't make them enjoyable.
So one thing that I will point out, like I do like the maps, I do like the game. I think there are steps that are challenging to figure out on release. I think they've gone for that shock factor, like, dude, these maps are going to be insanely hard to figure out, because they've openly spoke about this so many times, about they've got their board, they write down how long these Easter eggs are going to take to figure out, And I think that's what they go for. They go for that shock factor of how difficult they are on release instead of the replayability of those Easter eggs. If we look at...
We've been talking about that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, dude, if we look at Voyage, just the planet step. Like, who can memorize all those planets? Who can memorize all the symbols and all the locations? Like, it's pretty tricky. Like, even I bring out my cheat sheet for that. And then looking at 9, going on to the Danu step. Who actually memorizes what all of those symbols mean? Like the Gladiator symbol, the Blightfather symbol. Who knows that? And the same thing we just got inside of Dead of the Night. Well, kind of. With all of the symbols that we got to type into the telescope. Like, yes, we don't... They made it a little bit better. Like, yes, we don't actually have to know what that symbol means. They all are signs of the Zodiac, but we don't actually have to know what it is. All we got to do is memorize that shape and memorize the scratches. But still, you are taking time out of playing zombies to write something down. And that doesn't really happen much in BO3. And I think that's why BO3 was fun.
It feels like for every BO format, you have to have a notepad right by you to do if you're going to do a quest. Yeah. And that's... Comparing that to BO3, you never really needed that. You'd have like a maybe mini cheat sheet if you couldn't remember a couple stuff. And that's acceptable. Like, right? I don't have a problem with that. But every single BO4 Easter egg, it's like they designed it specifically for the hunt night, and then never to be played again after.
It's kind of funny because if we look back, I'm gonna ask you right now, name a map that we need the most cheat sheets on, and it's the most beloved map of all time.
BO4 or
ever?
Origin.
Yes, and it is the most beloved map of all time, in my opinion. I think Mob's pretty high up there, but I think Origins is still, it's the bee's knees, dude. It's the crown jewels.
Yeah. It's I'm not saying Origins is perfect by design or anything, but but even then the puzzles in that weren't ridiculous. You could memorize the wind puzzle. You could lightning was probably the most difficult to memorize.
Yeah, I agree.
You could memorize fire if you wanted.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to something like Voyage, you can memorize these, but it's significantly more work. And I don't know. I don't know what it is, the difference between those two. If it's just more of a workload or you just get less out of it, because that's the thing, when you do those puzzles in Origins, you get a staff from it, right?
Yeah.
When you do the planet step in Voyage, you get nothing except advancing to the next step. You know what I'm saying?
See, if we had to like do that and then we had an upgraded weapon from it, I'm all fine with that. Getting an upgraded staff, I'm down with that, dude. But I tell you what,
you're getting a reward from it. That's where it is, boys. The rewards.
I tell you what we'll do. Let's drag some more people in.
What the heck just happened to my sub count?
I think you had a sub purge, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
You had a sub purge live on a podcast.
That's big, boys.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. I am once again going to remove my boy Chopper. And we are going to bring in someone from the community. If you guys want to join this, all you got to do is go into the link in the description and just go on the Discord link. And we'll drag you guys in randomly. But let's go and bring someone in and we can talk about exactly what we were just talking about then. I want to, Chop, let's talk about exactly why these Easter eggs feel different to Origins in these steps.
All right, I'm down.
Okay, so let's bring in Americano. Americano, are you there? Are you there, Americano? Oh, Americano left.
He's gone.
He's like, I'm out of here, boys. I'm gone.
I'm
out. Okay, let's bring in someone else. Let's bring in Jake. So I'm bringing Jake Smith. Hello, Jake. You are live on the air.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
How's it going, man?
I'm getting stressed with multiplayer.
Okay, but you've got time to talk about some zombies with us, right?
I definitely do, yeah.
Okay.
I believe 100% that I think they've been following a little lacking in the terms of detail. I think the amount of content is definitely what we've all been asking for.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, they haven't taken as much time peering into what we've known and loved about zombies. I think the kind of new perk setup's not as fantastic as it used to be, and it's kind of driven the community away, because we've always been used to these crutch perks. Obviously, I get that some of them can be a little overpowered, but at the same time, it's what we've always known and loved since it's come out, and I think kind of changing these key details that we've always liked has pushed and driven everyone away.
I mean, I miss them, dude. I'm gonna openly say, as soon as I played it at Treyarch for the very first time, like a week before release, I was shocked. I was intrigued about what they do, but I don't understand why they couldn't have just kept the machine concept. The fact that we no longer have perk jingles, the fact that we no longer have these iconic machines, even in the Aether maps. Look, I totally understand. You want to do that inside of the Chaos storyline? Be my guest. Dude, why have we not got that in Mob or Blood? Sorry.
100%. 100%. I mean, it linked so far back, and especially with... I've sort of got another nickel in with the old remastered maps.
Yeah.
They were great back in Black Ops 3.
Yep.
However, it didn't have the same amount of feeling because we had all of the current zombies guns from that previous game. It would have been great if they had... I don't mind if they had the gobble guns and stuff, because that did make it a brand new game.
Yeah.
But they should have still had the original guns and the original kind of Easter eggs that you could do.
Do you think...
Open it up a little more.
Which is better in your opinion? And if you guys want to put hashtag Gobblegum or hashtag Elixir inside the chat right now, let me know what you think is currently better. But what do you think, Jake? What is the best?
100%. I think Gobblegums were... great. I mean, they've both got their downsides. Gobblegums were a little bit overpowered. I mean, in the original reveal, they did even admit that they created them to be overpowered.
Yeah.
But I think in the same time, they gave everyone a sense of, oh, if I wanted to change it up in this way, I could change it up in this way.
I think
if I wanted to just have a casual game, like, I could do that.
It was a very early way of, well, it's basically custom mutations, but better. Like, why didn't they just do this anyway?
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand, somewhat overpowered. And the further we got inside of the DLC season, the more overpowered they got. Like, Power Vacuum was ridiculous. That doesn't deserve to be in there. But to begin with, the fact that there was something in there with the same kind of hype content as, let's say, you playing FIFA. The FIFA YouTubers would open packs. If they got like Messi or someone, they were thrilled. We literally had that with BO3. It was exciting. You rolled a Gobblegum. If you got a Perkaholic, people went crazy. And I remember when they were so rare because you couldn't buy coins. It was literally just you had to earn Liquid Divinium and get that Perkaholic.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore inside of BO4. All
Agreed.
the
I think that is...
The elixirs are just... There's no good elixir. There's not even an okay one. The only one that is actually really good that they should have had inside of BO3 is the... is it called Anywhere But There? That teleports you to your friend when they are down. That is the only good one that I can say. I can't think of any
100%. I agree, mate. I think that was a huge changer because it meant that you could... engage a little bit more in team play, and that kind of links me on to my next point as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing obviously Call of Duty since the start, but in Black Ops 2, you had these kind of Easter eggs where you had to play as a team. You had 4 people, and you had to work together to solve these Easter eggs, and you had 2 sides. You had the Max's side, and you had the Richtofen side.
Yes.
And I think that was fantastic because it kind of encouraged you to work as a team because you had to complete the Easter egg, all 4 of them, with the same group. You couldn't complete them with, go into complete it with one person and, kind of not get the same effect. And what I really liked that they haven't done in any other zombies since is the massive end game that they had in the end of the Black Ops 2.
Why didn't we get anything like that in BO3? I was so disappointed that we just got a pistol from doing all the Easter eggs.
Yeah,
we should have had something.
100%. Like that was a staple to me. Was they had this massive thing that you could all work towards as a team, and you all had to physically work together in order to release this massive end game Easter egg. And you haven't had anything like that in the current zombies since. I think they worked too much towards the microtransactions and getting it into what you call the next gen stage.
Yeah.
They haven't kind of focused on anything that us guys as the players and kind of like the heartbeat of the operation. They haven't listened to what we've loved all along and expanded on it, which has kind of brought it down a little bit.
I agree, and I think the further we go in with zombies, the higher our expectations get. And just I listened back to what I just said right there, saying I was so disappointed in Black Ops 2 when we didn't have an end game. But the game is by far the sickest zombies experience I've ever had. So I should be grateful. But it's the same thing that everyone else is having a problem with right now, that we expect more and more every single year.
Yeah.
And when they don't deliver, it blows up. And it's like...
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. But thank you for talking to us. Let's continue this conversation, Chop, inside our own little thing right now. Actually, should we get someone else inside of here? What do you think, Chop? Let's have a really quick chat about this real quick. Let's talk about these expectations. Give me a call real quick with the webcam. We'll get you back on here.
I got you.
And then we'll get someone else in just a little second as well. There we go. That's my boy Chappie. Where's my boy Chappie? There he is.
All right. So to kind of go back there, what the crux of this? What's basically?
So basically, we're trying to understand why the further and further we get with zombies, our expectations are so high that I feel like we're always going to be disappointed, or at least some of us are going to be disappointed. Because our expectations are just being higher and higher and higher, which I don't think should be the case. Like, look at multiplayer. Multiplayer very much stays its own thing and has a hardcore group of people that religiously play it every year. But I think the thing that we don't have, we don't have this diversity between zombies. And I think the way we move forward from this, and let me know if you think this is okay. Next year, MW4, maybe. We'll see. Extinction 2.
I mean...
Not zombies. Would that work? Would that work?
Would that work in the sense of giving zombies a little bit of a cooldown, if you will, giving it a break?
Giving zombies a cooldown. Okay. And you know what? I think that when we come around after IW or MW4, whatever you want to call this next project that we have next year, 2020 will be this insane game mode from Sledgehammer. We know that we know that Cameron Dayton's left, so we can't continue his story. Would they do X of Zombies 2? I doubt it. Would they do a prequel to anything? I doubt it. Give us something new. And I tell you what, I remember before Exo Zombies was about to come out, it was like a few months before, and people were trying to come up with crazy theories about what it could be. There was this theory that this is such an old theory, so forgive me if I get some of this wrong, but it sounded insane. It was like, this game mode, third game mode, it's kind of like zombies, but it's not. You get dropped into like the depths of hell, and you've got like goats and stuff, like just insane creatures, and I'd be so happy with stuff like that, where it's just like, it's not zombies. Extinction, I would be happy about next year.
That's fair. That's fair. What, I don't know. I guess the only way that I think a scenario like that would work is, I guess, like taking a break from zombies. Like, if in BO4, they just fully focus on the Aether storyline, and let's say that all the community problems right now, let's just say that this is another BO3, just for the sake of what I'm saying. Let's just say that this is BO3 Part 2 for the entire season of BO4. That hype is still there. So imagine we take a break off of zombies, and then we come back to the next Treyarch game, and then they start the Chaos story with that amount of people still invested. I bet you there'd be a lot more like runoff of people that get invested in the Chaos story because of that. I don't like this hybrid that they're trying to do, because the Chaos story will always be overshadowed by Aether. Like, I agree. It doesn't really matter which way you turn it. So, and
I think it's very confusing for new players to get into this right now. And I think that's the great thing about BO3. BO3 came along, brand new crew. And it was mixed match, but it was a brand new crew with the storyline. And it kind of eased players into like, oh, this game mode's sick. Oh, wait a minute, I just beat the Easter egg? Whoa, Rick Toffin? I remember him from BO2, dude. This is going to be an insane DLC. And it brought people on. And
it's like, dude, BO3 is like Star Wars. Like so think of it like this. BO3 as itself is like a self-contained story, right? You start with Rick Toffin, you have to collect everybody's souls at each particular map. So that's all like one self-contained story. But if you look at the whole Black Ops Zombie series, it makes a lot more sense. There's way more behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, every Star Wars movie is its own self-contained story, but you put them all together and it's one big, like, cohesive, like, narrative.
I feel like that's actually a great way of putting it. Like, an insanely good way of putting it. Like, I get confused. Even though I've been following Star Wars since I was born, I still get confused now where it's like, oh, dude, we've got a new main story this year. And then it's like a few months down the line, I'm like, wait a minute, this Star Wars trailer? Oh, it's its own thing. It's solo. And it's like, that's what we're dealing with now. We've literally got these maps where it's like, dude, Aether crew. And then it's like, good, you wanna play with this new crew, even though you've just played 2 with another new crew like two months ago, but it's a prequel to that crew, even though we're gonna have Aether at some point. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, everybody's just waiting to get back to the main show. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
It's like these are like little venues to distract us for a bit, but everybody's waiting to get back to the spotlight, and I don't think that's good.
I agree, dude. Should we get someone else inside of here? Also, I wanted to let's continue our imposter Treyarch. I just wrote that down.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit more about the imposters. So we've obviously we can refer to IW or Infinity Ward, and we can also refer to Sledgehammer. Which one worked? Which one didn't work? And why?
Well, this obviously gets very opinionated, but I know you're a huge fan of IW. But like to me, I genuinely like the game of IW as well. But no matter what it was, even if it had all that charm, it was still kind of a Treyarch imposter in a way.
I agree.
The way they handle everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I very much look at it. The way that I try and look at these games, and this is probably why I'm a lot more positive than other people. I try and look at every single venture as not Call of Duty. Like if I went and picked that off the shelf and put it in my PS4, when on a down year from us not getting Treyarch Zombies, and I put it in there and it didn't say Call of Duty, it literally just said IW Zombies, and I would be like, dude, everyone's going to be playing this. This is literally what can take us over to the next game. And it was like, but because it's got that Call of Duty title, it's instantly compared between the two. And and that's why, dude. And I think
it's fair to compare them, but I see what you're saying, that if it wasn't like Call of Duty branded, it might have been a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, that's possible. It's hard to say. I don't know. It just really feels like this time around that Treyarch is acting like themselves, but doing a bad version of it. It's the strangest thing. It's because every BO3 map to me had a super distinct feel and like atmosphere to it, and BO4's maps, some of them do, right? Blood of the Dead has a very unique feel to me, and so does 9, but Voyage feels very empty, and not only just like in terms of the stuff to do in the game, but just the atmosphere, the vibe feels empty. The
one thing that I want to kind of refer Voyage to is Mob. They pick an IRL setting. We know that Alcatraz is a thing. We know that the Titanic was a thing.
Yeah.
I think they tried to do the same thing again, but it completely failed. Like, I love Mob because I get invested with the crew. I get invested with the Easter egg. Even though the Easter egg's not great, the storyline's really good behind the Easter egg, so it's fun. But the setting draws me in. The fact that I'm playing on Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay blows my mind every time I load that game up. And the fact that I've been able to visit that place, insane. They tried to do it again with Voyage, didn't work.
So the question is, why didn't it work? I think
I think once again we've come to expect too much, and I think there's nothing that you can get invested with that. If we look at Shadows again, we can go back to Shadows all day because that map is almost perfect.
I hold that as God tier. Like, I really do.
The amount of side quests that you can do in that map, just on a casual run through, is so good.
Even attention to detail. Like I was gonna bring this up earlier, but I forgot to. Like the HUD in Shadows is a different color and a different like look than all the other maps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every HUD in BO4 is the same, and they're not. And I know you can think whatever you want about the HUD. Like it's not the prettiest thing to look at, but they also don't reflect the aesthetic of the map either, which I think was a big thing for Shadows.
Yeah, the only difference that we get is obviously the HUD of the Easter egg, like the Easter egg, like step thing. But I agree with you, dude. Shadows is God tier, by far God tier. That's why I've literally got a massive poster of Shadows of Evil to the right of me. The only map that I've got up anywhere. because it is.
Really?
It's a godsend.
It's that good. Yeah,
I mean, I've got the other posters. I am gonna give them away at some point because I don't have room at this house anymore. So I'm just gonna give them away to random people on stream. But my Shadows of Evil one is framed and it's signed by everyone, and that's the only one. I've got other signed ones, but that's the only one that I'm actually proud to have signed because it is a masterpiece of a map.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have a Shadows of Evil on BO4, if you will. Like, what was the disconnect there?
The closest thing we've got is 9. Actually, no, the closest thing we've now got is Night of the Dead, or Dead of the Night. I think that's probably the closest. But there's something missing.
Yeah, I was gonna say this too. I know 9 is probably, I guess, my favorite map on BO4 still, but I don't love it. You know,
let's say let me say, hey Chop, today I'm gonna put you on 9 for 6 hours straight. Okay, you got to keep on playing it, but you don't get to play the boss fight.
Okay.
Right? That doesn't sound fun because the boss fight's shocking. The boss fight's fun. You say, hey Chop, you want to play Shadows of Evil for 6 hours? No boss fight, but you get to play Shadows. You'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I'd be way more inclined to do that.
Yes.
And yeah, exactly.
And why is that? Why?
I don't know. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with just the quality of the map. I think it's personal preference and quality. I just enjoy Shadows more as a map, and I think there's more to do. There's more fun to be had there. It's literally the epitome of what I was talking about earlier with the sandbox with toys in it.
Yeah.
Perfect sized for a sandbox, but with a plethora of toys, like almost too many. But that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. There's so much going on with that map, and I don't know, everything, like what makes a masterpiece, everything just fell together. I like 9 as map, but I don't love it.
I agree. It's like I can't name a map that I love, but
I can't either,
but I like them all, but I don't love them. It's like I've had some really good looking babies, and then all of a sudden these 4 ugly ones pop out, and I'm like, I gotta love you. I'm gonna love you, but you're just not as good as the last ones. Let me read a few donations, and then we'll jump in to we'll do like a quick draw of people, bringing in a good amount of people before we end this thing. So I don't want to make this too long. We'll try and keep these episodes down to maybe 90 minutes. So I think we're almost at that point. We got 10-15 minutes left. So let me just read the rest of these donations. And then we'll invite some people in. So Ryan, thank you for the 79 cents. He didn't actually say anything, but I appreciate that a lot, my dude. We also had Turtle again that said the maps on this game feel more tedious when traversing. Traversing. Don't know what that means. Didn't go to school. Okay, there you go. No, I did.
Getting around.
I did go to school. Left a little bit early. I don't know if that's just me. 9 is the only map with a really good open area. Yeah, I agree. 9's good because we've got that open area, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think what I want to... If you guys are listening right now, join the Discord server, link inside the description right now, and when I get you in, let's discuss... The topic we're going to discuss is... Final thoughts, what can Treyarch do to bring this DLC season full loop where we are in love with this game? Let's say, for example, we've only got 4 DLCs left, because I'm assuming we got one early, so we probably got 4 on normal DLC release times, and maybe Zombie Chronicles 2. Let's leave Chronicles 2 out of it, unless you want to specifically talk about remastered maps, and that's how we could possibly bring this back. That's the question I'm going to be asking you inside of Discord. How can we make this better? If Treyarch are listening, how did they fix it to make it better for our community? Before we jump into that real quick, I do have this letter that I was saving for a P.O. Box opening, but I'm going to open it now because it's near Christmas and for some reason my mail company's not. So I've only got this one thing. But if you do want to send anything to the podcast or any kind of, or specified P.O. Box openings that we can do, there is the link on, there is the postal address on the screen right there that you guys can, send that into. Let's see what this is. I've opened this up. I don't know what this is. Oh, I think they're Christmas cards to pizza. Okay, let's have a really quick look at what this is. I don't know who this is from. It looks actually quite professional. Oh, okay, here we go. What's this? We've got Dear Pizza, I've been subscribed for a long time now, and I will continue to watch you and watch you grow on YouTube. I don't know what to say, so I hope you enjoy this drawing. And it is some bronies. It is literally just some My Little Ponies. And that is from
Big
Lewis.
ups.
That is from Lewis.
Big ups, Lewis.
Thank you, Lewis. And I'm pretty sure he sent me a Christmas card right here as well. Let me see. Let me see what this is. It is. It's a Merry Christmas card from Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that a lot. Just says 2 pizza from Lewis. I will put that on my shelf. Thank you, my dude. If you guys want to send anything to the stream, or you want to send anything at all through the mail to be on PO Box openings, that is the address on screen right now. But let's jump over to the Discord calls that we are going to be doing right now. We're going to have a quick run through of the final people real quick, or a few people, and then if you don't get on this week, I do apologize. We'll do some next week. Also, before you leave, make sure you click that like button. Let's get this to 1,000 likes right now. There's over 1,000 of you guys, so let's do this. If you want to see another one, let's get those 1,000 likes. But guest webcam, Chump, you are now off. Guest webcam border is off right there as well. And let's bring that media. Let's change the media real quick. Let's change what video we're watching before we jump into this. Let's put it on. I mean, that's just a video normally. Let me put this on a different one real quick. What have we got? What's this? What's this? Is this Gorod Crovey? Is this Gorod Crovey? Let's watch some Gorod Crovey. I don't actually know what this is. I have no idea what this is. But let's jump into our thing real quick. Okay, here we go. So let's drag some people in. We are now live on the air. Let's drag in. Let's start with the top. We've not done the top one. Let's take in AK Venoms. Here we go. Ooh, Venoms, you are live on the air. What up, my dude?
Yo.
Oh my god. Yo.
You good, dude?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
What can Treyarch do to bring this community back to full strength, or just bring the game back around to people enjoying and wanting to play zombies on Black Ops 4?
I think. All right. So you see the Destiny layout that they have.
Yeah.
Where they show us what content they're gonna have throughout the year.
Yeah.
I think we need to know that there is content coming.
Dude,
right? Not just.
Whew, I like that. So you're saying we literally get this thing by Treyarch, or even in game, a little menu. We click on it and it says DLC 1. This date, you get in this map. It says the name of it and a little icon.
Yeah,
dude,
there's something like that.
I'd be so down. I think that is so good. People know it's coming. DLC 1, 2, 3, and 4. We get release dates. They can hide stuff like Zombie Chronicles 2 if that's even going to be a thing. But
yeah,
the 4 things that we are going to get on Black Ops Pass, dude, if they had the name of them, let's just say, for example, they had something like, dude, I don't know. Let's just say something like Transit of the Dead. I don't know. Completely just made that. But imagine if we had that, people would go insane. That would literally be a talking point for so long.
Yeah,
and we could come up with theories, and we can just do... I think that would work.
Like YouTubers could have so much content, like...
I agree, but it also... The general public will actually have an incentive to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, buy the game, and even just look forward to content for the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
I think that could be a thing. But I like that. Thank you, AK. I'm gonna pick someone else inside of here right now.
Wait.
Go on.
Hold on.
Go on.
There's a guy in the chat, right? He's copy and pasting this massive paragraph.
Yeah.
I think something needs to be done about him.
Okay, no worries. Thank you, my dude.
All right. Cheers.
I'll see you later.
Thank you, dude. Chopper. All right.
Thanks, dude. Okay, let's bring in another person. We're gonna bring in Bashag. Bashag is a YouTuber. So let's bring in Bashag. Yo, Bashag, you're live on air, my dude.
Yo. How's it going, man?
Oh, we got some signal problems.
Yeah, can I hear him?
You good? Okay, yeah.
Discord machine.
Bashag's a little bit dodgy right there. Let's bring in Duck Gamer right now. Here we go. Yo, Duck Gamer, you are live on the air.
Oh my god,
oh, dude, that was loud. Duck Gaming.
Oh my god, sorry.
It's a little bit crackly right there, my dude.
Oh, sorry, my guy.
So what can, really quickly, because your microphone's pretty darn bad. Really quickly, what can Treyarch do to bring it around this year and to make us have faith in Black Ops 4 Zombies?
Building in zombies. No.
What? Okay.
So I think they need to just premise.
Yep.
It's like they're hyping up this big thing with Blood of the Dead and Classified,
Yep.
and then they're just giving us stuff completely unrelated and making us wait, and just stuff like that.
I agree. What do you think about that last comment from AK, who said, "How about we get some kind of system inside of game which shows us what our DLC season's going to be, so we can look forward to it."
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So we know what we're getting. Like, it could even just something that tells us maybe not the name of the map.
Yep.
Because maybe for DLC 4 for premise map, maybe that would give away too much. Or so it would just say like either Chaos or Aether and have the name of the DLC, or whatever they want to do. But I really like that idea. I think they should definitely do that.
I think so as well. Thank you, Doug Gamer. I'm gonna put you back inside of the other chat real quick. Thank you for jumping inside here. Okay, so we got a couple of donations to read out real quick just before we add another person inside of here. I'll just try and get through these as quickly as possible. We also had, dude, we've actually had a few. We had Ace Dollars, who dropped to 396, who says, Infinity Ward back then was that... Wait. Infinity Ward back then was what Treyarch is now in people's eyes, and they still lived up to the hype in IW. Treyarch needs to take some OG lessons. Chop, what do you think about that?
I'm not really sure what that means, to
I'm
be
not 100%
honest.
sure what that means. I feel like maybe just as hate's going, as toxic as the community is maybe towards IW, that's kind of how it is right now with Treyarch.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say from that. But thank you, Ace Dollars. Appreciate that. We had Vincent dropping another donation of 396 who put, not too hard, but certain steps seem like a pain to do on solo. Got into 40 plus on every map. High rounds are fun for me, but Easter eggs don't feel incentivized. Dude, we touched on that before. 100% agree. 100%. And yeah, it is kind of, it's just a pain. I think that's what it is. They're not exactly hard to do some of the steps in solo, apart from the boss fights.
Oh, no, yeah.
But they're tedious. I think that's what it is.
The steps aren't difficult gameplay-wise. They're just, they feel like a chore.
It's just tedious, my dude. Yeah, I think that's what it is. We also had Americano with a £10 donation saying, sorry, there was a technical issue at my side. My side, I think that BO4 is a good game, but issues is the leakers. Just take the fun out of the zombies mode. Dude, could not agree with you more. Hopefully, now that this guy has left Treyarch and he's not worked on any other maps apparently, hopefully leaks are going to be done with. As long as Treyarch listen to us and fix the custom mutations glitch. That's all we ask. If they can fix the custom mutations glitch, I'm going to be really, really happy. Jackie Chan also donated saying, I tweeted you a thumbnail that I made for the pizza podcast. Could you maybe have a look? I will have a look at it, Jackie. Thank you for that. And also Bashag says, I'm sorry, I just realized Discord voice is blocked in Dubai. Oh, Bashag. I'm sorry, my dude. Hopefully we can try and figure out a way around it for next time, and we'll get you in right there. But that is all the donations. So let's bring someone else in. Let's bring Chris Bob in, a long-term mod on this channel. Let's see what Chris has to say. Yo, Chris.
Yo, what's up, man?
You there, Chris? There we go. Chris, what can Treyarch do to make and rectify the situation?
Well, for me, I go to a lot of gaming events and I speak to a lot of devs before their games are out, and they ask me, what do you feel could be put into this game to make it better? And for me, I always say a reward system, something that gives back to the player, and the player can show off to other people to say, look, I've done this. So we had like the gate worms and stuff like that from BO3, and you could be like, look, I got it, I've done it. Exactly. And then you get all of them, and you get the rewards.
I think the thing is with that, it was actually it was on the menu as well, so it incentivizes to play more. It was instantly like, this is a reward. We can't do anything with it just yet, but we will be able to do something with it.
Yes, yeah, we need to. They need to give us something back that's sort of like a free thing. So people were saying about camos, something that you can show off to your friends to say, yes, I've got it.
Yeah.
Like in Blackout, you can get like the different outfits. Maybe put that into zombies. So when you've completed an Easter egg, you get like a gold outfit for Richtofen.
How good would that be?
Playing with random people, yeah. So when you're playing with random people, they'll be like, oh my god, this dude has done like realistic Easter egg.
Dude, how good would that be? Can we get some claps inside the chat, lads? Because the thing is, That would work so well. If you complete the Easter egg on realistic, you have a gold outfit for Richtofen or any character that you want to play with. I think that would be rewarding. Just something as simple as that. You go into a lobby and this guy's like, holy dude, this guy's got a gold thing. Like, it would work. Even camos for our specialists. Just wrap them in something. Even if just getting something like Christmas wrapping paper just for over Christmas. Like,
the thing is, they have this stuff in Blackout already.
I know.
They have like gold outfits.
The assets are there. Why can't they just transfer them over?
Yes, I feel that this is, at the moment, they've brought out the game, but I reckon maybe DLC 1 to 2 is when we're going to get this stuff that we want. The reward system.
I think DLC 2.
Outfits, the camos.
Yeah. I think DLC 2 will be when we get it, but the question is it going to be too late by then?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this game. I don't really have much hate for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've loved it. And this new map that come out, a lot of people are saying, oh, I don't like it, I don't like this. I think it's absolutely crazy because I can play this on my own, I can play it with friends, and the amount of little side Easter eggs and everything like that I can do is just crazy.
Dude, it's one of the best. One of the best maps. It's in my top. It's in my top 2. Definitely in my top 2, or top 5, or top 10. It's in my top 10. Let's put it as that. Top 10 of all time.
Yeah, definitely. It's in my top 10. This map, and the other map I like is 9.
Oh, 9's good.
Yeah, I love 9.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. I'm going to put one more person inside of here, and then we're going to shut this pizza podcast down. Final guy. Chap, what do you have to say about that? Do you agree with what Chris was saying?
Yeah, for the most part. I agree. I think that my thing is, even if they add the reward systems right now, is it already too late? You know? Like, it's going to be really hard for them to bring it back. I hope they do, but...
I'm not sure, dude.
The more time that ticks down is another player lost. You know what I mean?
Kind of is. We're gonna have to see what happens, dude. But I think there's still hope. I think there's still people here that care about this game enough, including myself, including you.
That's why we're here.
There's a lot of people. One guy that I actually really want to talk to right now. I can't see him inside of the voice chat, but I can see him inside of the general chat. I tell you what, we'll talk to 2 more people. I want to talk to Jeff. I want to talk to Plasmid Jeff, who is a massive world record holder of a lot of maps in the past, and I want to talk to him a little bit about that for BO4. So Jeff, if you are listening, please can you make your way into the holding for air, and let's speak to one more person before then. So let's pull in. Who should we pull in? Who are we pulling in, Chub?
Go get the MC Zombie Slayer.
MC Zombie Slayer. Let me bring MC Zombie Slayer in. Yo, MC, you are live on the air, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, yeah, really good, thank you. Tell us what you think about the game right now and how Treyarch could possibly fix it for you and the community.
Okay, so obviously I'm a high round player.
Yep.
I don't know too much about the Easter eggs, but regarding high rounds, they've kind of ruined the replayability of it.
Yeah. Is that just because of blue screen or no?
Not just because of the blue screen, because of how they've changed the zombies mechanics in general.
Yeah.
So obviously, at round 55, they start becoming super sprinters, and they keep increasing until about round 63.
Really? So you can't outrun them just by walking?
I think you can, but because of the respawning system and the different speeds of the zombies, like the respawning system, they respawn at the windows in front of you instead of the windows at you.
Wow. So BO4 is more challenging.
Yeah, it's more challenging, but because of how fast the zombies hit, the pathing of the zombies isn't like the other Treyarch games, and also the weapons that are used, the health cap. There's just so many different things that have kind of ruined zombies for high rounds. Wow,
it's nice to get the opinion from a high rounds player for once. Because obviously me and Chopper are both like Easter egg guys. But I guess Chopper's a high round player as well. You dabble, Chop.
You could say I'm a hybrid.
I would say you're very much the exact definition of a hybrid, like round 100 boss fights.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
MC, what can Treyarch do for you right now that would fix the situation?
Work on fixing blue screens and I think it was the memory leak that is causing the blue screens.
Yep.
So that you can actually get to a high round without worrying about the play style you choose. Nerf the Helion, but buff the wonder weapons, because the Helion is basically the wonder weapon on every map. The play style is just the same.
I agree.
And it's really boring.
How do you feel about the wonder weapons being in the mystery box as well as doing the Easter egg together?
Oh, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you want to get it out of first box, you can either restart for it or do the obviously the Easter egg for it, so you don't get fire sales later on.
Yeah.
You take out that one drop in the cycle, and you can camp for longer. I think that's really good, and
Nice.
obviously good for Easter egg hunters.
So,
in that respect.
So what we are saying is we want to nerf the Hellion, we want to buff the wonder weapons, and one more thing. Tell me one more thing that they can do right now. Do you think if they publicly come out and make an announcement like, look, we know that it was a rush project and we're really sorry, but we have this DLC season waiting for you right here, and here's a little teaser of what's to come. Do you think that would work?
Yeah, I think that would get more people interested.
Is it too late?
I think maybe.
Maybe?
Because a lot of people have stopped being interested in it just because of how much they've changed, really.
I agree to some extent with that, yeah.
It feels more like a World War II Advanced Warfare hybrid than the Tryout game because of the special zombies and the way they move. It's just a bit of a mess, really.
Okay, there you go. Well, thank you, MC. That was the voice of a high-round player right there. I'm going to put you back into the holding for air. And I'm now going to drag in the final guest for today's show, which is going to be Plasmid Jeff. This guy has multiple Easter eggs for multiple things. Racing to around 30, racing to around 100. This guy's probably got the most world records out of the entirety of anyone when it comes to zombies, when it comes to fastest Easter egg completions. So I want to get his understanding of it and see what he thinks about this right here. So let's bring in Plasmid Jeff as our final person, Chop. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yo, Jeff.
Yo, what's up?
Hello.
Let's talk, because I think that you are the definition of a complete hybrid player when it comes to speedruns, high rounds. So much you have done with this game and with this community that I want to know your opinion about how Tryout can change this.
What do you think's a good place to start?
Let's talk about why BO4 is the way it is in the community right now, and let's talk about what you like and dislike about the game and how Tryout could fix the situation with the toxic community right now.
Honestly, I'm at a weak point here because I've been avoiding Black Ops 4 a little bit, and I don't want to speak like a high point of what BO4 feels like to people, but I guess some people might have their standards too high, or maybe Treyarch just didn't really deliver compared to what they usually do.
Do you think?
I don't know why that is.
You think it was affected because we had literally a god tier game in Black Ops 3 that our expectations were so high?
Yeah, kinda, because I do compare this a lot to what Black Ops 4 was. I mean, Black Ops 3 was.
I honestly think that if we would take all the maps from Black Ops 4 and put them on Black Ops 3, they would have been the most insane DLCs.
Oh yeah, it would have been a lot better.
It would have been so good. But what can Treyarch do as of right now? Do you think it's too late for Black Ops 4 to come back around again? Do you think it's still possibly to be an insane DLC season? I really like the idea that the guy had before, where it was like, let's just put something in game, or they openly say, hey, here's our DLC season. Check out what we've got to offer. Here's some snippets.
They can definitely salvage it. It's not dead completely. I mean, you just look at other developers that kind of just fell off, like, you know, after Darkest Shore came out, or I don't want to say Shaolin because I was kind of out of that release period, but it kind of fell off with Shore, and then they just tried to pick it up, and it's not impossible to pick it up too, because I wasn't a big fan of World War II when it came out, and I just lost interest completely when Shore came out, and then I waited a few cycles, and once Tortured Path came out, I really liked the game.
Tortured Path is okay.
it's just I don't know. It's a lot of work they have to pick up because they have the most fan base and they have a lot of work that they're trying to put up to people, and I don't know.
Have you been doing any speedruns for Black Ops 4?
No, I haven't. I've really been avoiding it because it kind of seems, because the little that I've played of the game, I feel like I'm just kind of picking up other gimmicks from other games. That's the thing that really made Black Ops 3 different, was because I started out speedrunning on AW, and then when I went to Black Ops 3, it felt like a completely different game. Didn't feel like it was a cop-out from AW or Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
But going into Black Ops 4 after playing World War II and IW and Black Ops 3 for these past 3 years, I see a lot of similarities. A lot of similar mechanics and behaviors in the game, and it kind of just feels lazily done and put together.
Okay. I think that's a really great place to end this podcast. Thank you very much for coming on. I can't believe we've never spoken before, so I'll definitely hit you up in DMs and we'll have a chat, because you have some insane records that I want to discuss so much. So yeah, thank you for being here. You're an absolute legend, and really cool.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, my
It's
dude.
an honor.
Okay, I think that's a great place to end this this podcast. It's been nice to speak to you guys and to speak to my boy Chop, who is of course, Chop, give me a quick video call. Let's get you on for this final segment real quick. Let's get
what now?
Give me a quick video call. Let me get you on for this final segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
You got me. There he is. There's the boy.
We back, baby.
There he is. Let me get him up here. There you go, lads. So, I think
we back.
This is gonna have to be an ongoing podcast. It has to be, because I mean, you guys have come out in your numbers, and I think that one thing we need as a community right now is somewhere where we can all have a voice, and that's what I'm trying to do right here. This is the first episode. It's very much like I didn't even know I was gonna do this at the start of this afternoon, and I've somehow managed to put all of this like together and figure this out. So massive thank you to Chop. You guys should already be subscribed to him. Absolute legend. But if you're not, if you are not, just go and type in The Chopper with a 0 on the O inside of your search bar and go and subscribe to that man right now. But dude, he's so close to 200k. Go and do it. But I think this has been a great place to start off. I do apologize if there's been any snags or any there, because it's the first episode, but we will be back. It probably won't be a weekly thing, maybe every 2 weeks, but like I said, it's something we need as a community right now with all this negativity or the positivity, depending on what side you are from. We need to try and figure this out and hopefully guide developers in the right direction, because if they don't know what we want, then they're lost, you know? And so are we, to be quite honest. So,
that's true.
So yeah, thank you for coming out, guys. I appreciate it a lot. If you are brand new and you've been here for the first time, just make sure you click that subscribe button wherever it is. And I'll see you obviously tomorrow, but I'll see you on the next podcast, which will probably be in about 2 weeks, and we can discuss the matters further or discuss news in the Zombies community and have some fun about, I don't know, we'll talk about stuff when it comes to it. But thank you for coming out. Leave a like before you go. And this has been the Pizza Podcast episode number 1. Thank you for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.